Cowboys 15 meters Tom Fox, staff photographer Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, Wright, and his former Super Bowl winning coach Jimmy Johnson shake hands and hug following the 25th anniversary of the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl XXVII at Gilley's in Dallas, Saturday, February 25, 2017. The event was hosted by Troy Aikman and United Way of Metropolitan of Dallas, in which he is the new fundraiser. The evening featured appearances by Cowboys legends, a conversation with head coach Jimmy Johnson and other members of the 1992 coaching staff, and a special celebration honoring Jerry Jones for his election to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tom Fox, The Dallas Morning News by SportsDailyFW.com. At SportsDailyFW, Jerry Jones has now owned the Dallas Cowboys for 30 years. In that span, he's spent his fair share of time in the public spotlight. You might feel you know everything about the man. You might be wrong. Here are 10 things you might not know about Jerry Jones. Point 1. He made his son apply to Wendy. Stephen Jones played hero for the Dallas Cowboys when he persuaded his dad to take Zach Martin over Johnny Manziel. That franchise-saving moment might not have happened if he had learned a very important lesson from his father early on in his life. Here's a story of how Jerry made Stephen apply to Wendy's, courtesy of the Dallas Morning News. Alan Peppard. Say this about the owner: he's never afraid to talk to the media. And when that happens, they occasionally strike gold with another Jerryism. Here are a few. Topic of conversation: Jones was hyping his team up before training camp when he used the commonly used expression in the oil and gas business: circumcising mosquitoes. Dr. Daddy, and Jello, the 25 greatest quotes from Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. What he said: I've been here 23 years. I've been here when it was glory hole days and when it wasn't. I want me some glory hole. Topic of conversation: how it felt to finish 4-12 and last in the NFC East in 2015. What he said: I'm looking up, on my back, and all I see is ass. I want a different perspective. Topic of conversation: regarding the negotiations to end the NFL lockout in July 2011. What he said: we're down to circumcising mosquitoes. 3. He lost $300,000 on a coin flip on Jones was buying the Cowboys from H.R. Bump. Right, the two had agreed on most terms but couldn't settle a dispute on who was responsible for an advance Bright made 3 to 4 weeks before Jones' purchase of the team, so they agreed to flip a coin for it. The flip went heads. Bright won. Jones had to pay. Later, once the deal was officially complete, Bright encased the coin, mounted it on a block and gave it to Jones with a message: you will never know if this is a two-headed coin. The gift remains in Jones' home. Point 4. He can't say Beyoncé. He also has his own Beyoncé from when she performed the halftime show at Dallas' 2004 Thanksgiving Day game at Texas Stadium. As a matter of fact, they were planning to perform and it was so cold you couldn't stand it out there on Thanksgiving Day, Jones said on 105.3 The Fans Sean and RJ Show, KRLD-FM. And I got them all coats from Neiman Marcus. And to this day, one of the things that we kind of smile about are those jackets that we got them so that they could go out there and do a good job and give us Thanksgiving Day halftime. Boy, I'm telling you, she's phenomenal. 5. The 3 losses that made him cry. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones talks to the media during a press conference about the Omni Frisco Hotel at the Star in Frisco, on Tuesday, November 3, 2015. Vernon Bryant, The Dallas Morning News. In 2014, Jones said there have only been 3 losses in his ownership tenure with the Cowboys that have made him cry. The first, the 1995 NFC Championship game. The 49ers beat the Cowboys 38-28. The Cowboys fell down 21-0 early thanks to 3 turnovers. I knew we had the better team, Jones said in 2014. The second, the 2002 season opener, when the Cowboys lost to the Texans in Houston's first ever game as a franchise. I was the leading proponent of getting Houston a team, Jones said. I wanted those fans to have their own team, even though I knew at that time half of them were Cowboys fans. To go down and get beat on opening night by an expansion team was absolutely a low point. The third, the 2007 divisional round playoff loss to the Giants. The Cowboys were 13-3 and the number 1 seed in the NFC. The Giants were a no. 5 seed that went 10-6, but they came out victorious with a 21-17 win. That's where I went, to the place I used to go to when they would call and tell me that I had just lost all of my money on a dry hole, Jones said. 6. He almost bought the Chargers instead, despite being 23 years old and not having any money. Illustration by Michael Hogue. The Dallas Morning News. As a 23-year-old, Jones nearly bought the San Diego Chargers in 1966. Fresh out of college, he had secured promises from investors in Missouri and had agreed to a $5.8 million asking price with then Chargers majority owner Baron Hilton. A newspaper clipping of the possible deal found its way back to Pat Jones, Jerry's father. Pat explained that the AFL was bad business, an unbroken history of negative cash flow. Jerry withdrew his offer. Later that year, the AFL merged with the NFL and Hilton sold the Chargers for $10 million. 7. The biggest whipping of my life. Even as a young kid, Jones was good at persuading people. One time in grade school, Jones convinced his classmates to bring fudge to school and spread it around, like it was something else. The kids did so gleefully, not realizing the consequences. When the teacher saw, she was furious. Knowing Jones, she determined he was the main culprit. I got the biggest whipping of my life, he recalled to the Morning News in 1996.8. Blind date, courtesy Jones family. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, center, flanked, from left to right, by son Jerry Jr., daughter Charlotte Anderson, wife Jean and son Stephen. Jones met his wife, Jean, a former Miss Arkansas USA, in college at the University of Arkansas. They were on a blind date and then joined some friends at the state fair. Other guys were winning their dates teddy bears. Jerry couldn't. I tried and tried, but couldn't, Jones told the Dallas Morning News in 1989, so I went behind and but her 1-9. He blew it all on the Cowboys. When Jones was buying the Cowboys in 1989, the price was $70 million for the franchise, $70 million for the leasing rights and $30 million in overdue bills. Banks, concerned about the Cowboys' finances, would only loan him $34 million. Jones used $77 million of his money and gave the team a $20 million loan. To guarantee the $34 million loan from the bank, he used his own receivables and assets as collateral. I was scared to death that my family legacy would be, Dad or Granddad had some money, but he blew it all to buy the Cowboys, Jones told the Morning News in 2012. Jones would later tell ESPN's Adam Schefter that the team was losing $1 million a month when he first bought them. The interest alone on the investment in the club was another X million dollars, he told Schefter. 11% interest on the amount that I borrowed. It was a bill of about almost $100,000 a day. Now that was going out the door. So, when you got up in the morning, crickets get you up or whatever, whether you got up or not, that was going out the door. That'll cause you to get imaginative. That'll cause you to think of some things that maybe hadn't been thought of before. 10. An honest mistake. Jones is infamous for eating with Jimmy Johnson at Tom Landry's favorite Mexican food restaurant the day before he would purchase the Cowboys and subsequently fire Landry to hire Johnson. Jerry's wife Jean said she was inadvertently responsible for the controversy. Jean used to shop in Dallas, and when Jerry was going to Dallas to negotiate the deal, she told Jerry about a little hole-in-the-wall Mexican food place she had found in a recent trip. I said it was out of the way and no one would ever see him or recognize him there, Jean told the Morning News in 1996. I had no idea it was Tom Landry's favorite place. That's really how it happened. There was no deceit involved. Bonus, take a virtual tour of his office. Tap here to enjoy the tour.